No, I'm not really doing anything right now. I got too much music going on and uh uh oh, a lot going on. It's taping because I don't know how to turn you off. So I have to be real happy with the fact that I'm doing another spot. But I like the last man. I have gotten really distracted. I don't even know which way to go. I'm talking about so much distraction. It's horrible. So I'm just gonna do what I do best, and that's just try to keep on honing in on these non-sufficient checks. And I just don't know how far back I want to go because look, I just don't know how far back y'all want me to go. I just think we need to rethink this thing called willful ignorance. We need to rethink this thing called white privilege, white comfort, and we need to recognize that right now we are really an incompetent society. Doesn't matter. Four institutions that enable us to build healthy cultures. The cultures out there, them cultures, okay, in order for them to be healthy, we have to build economic empires in our communities. Uh, I'm sorry, racism is it's no longer the way of the future. That's not how it's gonna be. And so everybody needs to just take a little chill pill and recognize that it's not going to continue to be the way you think it is. And if I tell you I put a battery in my cursor and I'm trying to get it to move so this will not be another um mm, message out here that runs, because because when I can ramble, I can really ramble, and I cannot move myself away from this thing that the race still enslaves, man. Shit, it does. You don't have the complexion for the protection, you know. There's just no silver lining in racism. And it's because it's still enslaving, guys. Look, my black communities, my brown communities, my Asian communities, my people of color communities, my poor communities, my communities that this just not working for them. Look, there's no silver lining in us all continuing to be disadvantaged. Somewhere you got to catch your breath because I know I've done my 46 in a relationship and I'm tired. And I have great respect for you all that are just tying the knot, just getting married this year, last year, 5 years in, 5 years in. You got 55 more years to go. And the more children you have, it does not matter if you have children. When you have children, life just became more complicated. It don't mean to be complicated. It just is. It is what it is. I'm remembering to keep water by me, and I sit here. I keep seeing the neck of Mitch McConnell and the sides of Lindsey Graham and Ted Cruz. I just gotta say, man, there's no. I understand. There's no way working your way out of racism. And the problems that you say you have with me, simply put, buddy, are your problems because you did not wake up black. You woke up white. And so the moment you woke up white, you assumed you had some privileges. So I go back, I do continue to reference that Netflix America the Motion Picture is true. You've used your women. You've just, man, you've used and misabused, and just kept your foot on her neck when she gave you a thought, a good thought. Oh my God! And you weren't able because she enabled all other women to just tap into this good thought of how this new country called America could be. And had directions from the Asian community, had directions from the primitive survivalists, the strategies that man, your water supply, your potty supply, that came before railroads, and that was me. Buffalo Soldiers, that was a long time of Buffalo Soldiers settling this thing called America, man. And we've been here since 1619. And now you don't want me to tell my story in your schools that continue to tell your lies. Right now, when you walk into your schools, you're going to talk about that man whose name, well, I'm with Whoopi Goldberg. I just can't say the name anymore. I'm exhausted with his thought and his ideology. And I highly resent everybody that's getting in lockstep with him. Because all of my liberties are gonna be gone. You're crushing me. Your Economic Exclusion Act, that was not nice for the Asian American. Plessy versus Ferguson, that wasn't nice for me. The way you treat immigrants, that's not nice. Because we've got a post pre-1920 and after 1968. And depending on who you letting in, the credentials and qualifications, they each changed. And so then you pit us against each other because one income is greater than the other. And then you refuse to take care of the ones that you know are just trying to deal, trying to have children, trying to have a relationship, trying to be in it for the good of life. And you keep stepping on the throat. And it's unfortunate. It is. I wish I could say I could just snap uh, 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 this section off right now, but I don't. I can't. Because this business as usual train of thought, it has to become unacceptable. It's too many people left out, guys. If I look just at the Anglo, okay, but then I have to look at the Black and the Hispanic and the people of color and poor people and people who find themselves vulnerable. There are a lot of us like that. And you're not spending your services in a humankind, dignified, with dignity manner for the most of us. It's just for the least of you. And you all remaining to be white. And you're upholding this thing called racism. And you're going to make sure that you can't work your way out of it. And so you're going to just keep your thoughts and your neck on me. And I'm trying to be free, guys. I'm so tired of being hemmed up with wrong thoughts at 75. wrong thoughts about the government, wrong thoughts about education, wrong thoughts about politics. There, there's no truth there. And we're spending way too much time putting these same people back for them to do the same things that have no improvement in the quality, the material condition of my life. It's exhausting and I'm tired. And I could go on and on and on and on, but I want to make sure that I get to do it on a daily basis. So, we need to get a grip. We need to demonstrate human kindness now toward black people, toward poor people, toward brown people, toward people of color, toward people across the board who are vulnerable. We are going to have to protect them, respect them, and pay them. If you want to get America back to feeling good about being an American, you're going to have to protect us. You're going to have to respect us. And you're going to have to pay us. And you're going to have to understand that, oh man, when we go and we vote for you guys now, we expect, we would like for you to affirm that you're all on board toward increasing the material conditions of our lives. It's important because there are more of me than there are of you who claim to be white. Racism cannot exist any longer. I know I'm an old woman just saying this. You got to find a better way. There's no silver lining. There's no working your way. Well, my God, what are you going to do with most of us? The 70, 80% of us that are not white, that are not exclusionary, that only think of themselves, that only find ways to protect their interest and their children's interest at the expense of mine. I'm watching the movement now as the people who will remain nameless are moving their lives. It's interesting. Sometimes when I sleep and I pretend to be messy and I do ugly things, I just wonder one day if all you since this is for me, since all you folk that are not person of color, okay, just woke up one day being a person of color, your realities would change. I can't get it to shut down. Oh my God. Anyway, I've enjoyed talking to you again. Yours in liberty.